Hi, Mr. Evers.
That's me.
Thank you again for agreeing to do this quick interview.
Okay.
I'm going to be very specific in my questions so that we can document. So I'm going to read.
Okay.
I'm going to read right from a transcript dated January 25th, 2009. Dr. John MacArthur, who's a pastor in California, has been telling the story that involves you going back to at least 2009 and up to recently August 13, 2018. On a transcript dated January 25th, 2009, this is what he said, and it's on video. Quote, "Well, it was during those times that I was there, and I'll never forget. I can't tell you the whole story, but I'll never forget one night. I was in the middle of Jackson, Mississippi, in the office of a man named Charles Evers. Charles Evers had a brother named Medgar Evers. Medgar Evers was the first martyr of the civil rights movement. He was the first person killed. Charles became the first black mayor in the South at Fayetteville, Mississippi. He was a friend of John's, and I had come to know him. He was sitting there, and he was trying to explain to me that night in Jackson what was going on. Now I remember I was a very young guy. I'd become immersed in that culture, grew to love those people. And Charles was talking, and a man burst through the door and said, 'Martin Luther King has been assassinated.' That happened that night while I was with Charles and John and some others," end quote. Dr. Evers, do you know John MacArthur?
No.
Never heard of him?
I may know if I've seen. I don't know. So many. Obviously, thousands of people. Not that I know of. I know that didn't happen. But I know when I heard about Martin, I was headed to Natchez in my car driving, and someone told me that Dr. King had been shot. And I said, "Well, what?" I thought, "Oh, hell, they can't kill him. You know that was that he was dead." Killed him. I turned right around and drove straight back. So went to Memphis. I don't know who this guy is coming. I don't even know him.
So you don't know him, but you're saying that your office called you while you were in the car on your way to Natchez. Now that was 1968, and your office called you. So I'm assuming even in that day you had one of the car phones that they did have. And so you're
the car phone, right?
And so when your office called you on the car phone, you turned around, went back to Jackson, and then what did you do?
Right. Took Brad and went on the next day.
Went to Memphis the next day?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm sorry, say that one more time.
I said whoever said it with me lying. Wasn't nobody with me.
So he would be lying. Nobody was with you.
No. I went to Memphis. No, I drove myself.
So you drove by yourself to Memphis?
Yes, I always drive. I think go somewhere not by myself. Yes, I did my own drive.
And when you found out about the death of Dr. King, you were in your car. You were not in your office with John Perkins or John MacArthur.
I was in my car. I was on my way to Natchez.
On your way to Natchez.
Yeah, I was on my way to Natchez. Called me. They shot Dr. King. I thought they can't kill. He's almost there. He's dead. And I turned around. And came back to Jackson. Got me some clothes in my house. I'm always going to basketball my back. Car and drove to Memphis. I ain't nobody with me, period, in the office.
So nobody was with you in your office. Is that what you're saying, sir?
No, I don't think about it. I don't think no. What about with me? I wasn't in the office. I was driving in Natchez.
In August of this year, 2018, Dr. John MacArthur writes, quote, "I was again ministering in Mississippi with John Perkins and a group of black church leaders in April 1968 when Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated in Memphis. One of the men leading our group was Charles Evers, head of the Mississippi NAACP. His brother Medgar had been killed in '63 by the KKK. When the news of Dr. King's murder broke, we drove to Memphis. And literally within hours after Dr. King was assassinated, we were at the Lorraine Motel, standing on the balcony where he was shot. We were also shown the place where James Earl Ray stood on a toilet to fire that fatal shot," end quote. Is that a true statement by Dr. John MacArthur?
I don't know what he knows. But I know I wasn't. It's not true about me. Because I didn't know. I don't know the stuff you're talking about.
So you don't know you don't know what he's talking about. You did not go to Memphis with John MacArthur.
Oh, no, hell no.
So just to clarify in closing, John MacArthur states on numerous occasions he was in your office in Jackson in April of '68 talking to you along with John Perkins when a man burst through the door and announced
That's
that.
a lie. That's not true. That's a lie. That's not true.
Did you just say that's a lie?
It's a lie. Everybody spoke about all the time. I was driving to Natchez when I heard about it. Back then, they had a more flat car phone. You know, the kind of that you could some floor in your car.
Yes.
And my phone rang, and my daughter, and my secretary, one of my secretaries called and told me, Mom had been shot. Oh, hell. And I turned around and came back to Jackson. I said something else about this. I said, they can't care about it. No, he's dead. By myself. Nobody with me.
So you didn't even go to Memphis with John Perkins?
No.
Would you, I mean, and I know it's a guess on your part, do you find a reason why someone would make this story up? Have you found it common for people to
I
make?
have no idea. It's not true. I did not go nowhere with John.
So in closing, just for the record, you have documented in your book, Have No Fear, written in 1998, that you were on your way to Natchez when you heard the news. They called you on a car phone that you had in '68, and you turned around and went back to Jackson. You got some clothes, and you went up to Memphis by yourself. You were not in your office.
No, but no.
Okay. Well, I want to thank you for clarifying this because this is a story that has been told over and over by John MacArthur.
I said, stop telling that lie, because I don't even know him, and I know I may know if I see him. Discussing things like that. I don't know them.
And when you say tell him to stop telling the lie is that he was with you when the news broke that Dr. King was killed.
Right.
That's a lie.
That's a lie, because he wasn't with me. I was driving my car.
Wow. Well, this is a history he has put out over and over, and I really appreciate the opportunity to set the record straight and to document the accurate history. So I want to thank you, Mr. Evers, for your time.
You're quite welcome anytime.
Thank you, sir.
One thing about it, my mom always, I brought the church of God in Christ. And the truth will set you free. Just tell the truth. You can remember the truth. You can't not remember a lie.
Well, thank you for telling the truth today and letting us record this conversation so we can set the record straight.
Okay. All right.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.